Alright, I started.
The thumb and little finger together, or you can check for a indentation on the dorsum of the wrist. You've got the scaphoid, trichotrum, lunate, distal radius and ulna, carpal metacarpal, carpal spread, distal root distraction of the trapezoid, capitate, lateral hamate, medial hamate. Next, the indicator for Dr. Schreck's elbow radius. I'm going to check for sponginess and abrupt stops. I'm going to cross fiber, and adjust in the position of sponginess. Next, the indicator for Dr. Schreck's elbow ulnar. You're going to be checking for a tendon spot and then cross fiber and adjust P to A. Next, the indicator for anterior humerus. I'm going to raise their arm at 90 degrees, have them resist, and if it's weak, I'm going to extend the patient's arm laterally and move closer to the edge of the table and adjust A to P at the proximal head of the humerus. Next, I'm going to have the patient sit up for the indicator of the acromioclavicular joint and adjustment. I'm going to sit next to them and raise their arm over my shoulder. I'm going to check for springiness and adjust S to I. Next, trigger points. You've got the subclavius, mid-scapular, teres, mediator scapula, anterior posterior lateral deltoid, anterior posterior medial proximal humerus, and subscapularis. Next, the scapulothoracic mobilization. I'm going to cut the scapula and the head of the humerus, and I'm going to propel the shoulder in an I to S, A to P motion. Next, I am going to stand behind the patient for the sternoclavicular mobilization. Then place my hand on the sternoclavicular joint and stretch. Next, the superior humerus. I'm going to place my thumb on the superior lateral aspect of the humeral head, feeling for springiness. If restricted, I'm going to adjust S to I. Next, the levator scapular tendon. I'm going to sit on the side of the patient and hold the arm in place, then rub the angle of the scapula 3 times. Part 2. Parent's elbow assessment. I'm going to have the patient lay on their back and support their elbow with my knee for the tricep muscle test. So I'm going to have the patient's wrist straight and resist. And if it's strong, that's good. Now the ulnar indicator. I'm going to flex the patient's wrist and have them resist. If it's weak, it's indicating a ulnar subluxation, so I'm going to have the patient place their finger on their medial condyle. Resist. If it's strong, it's indicating a posterior medial subluxation. So I'm going to adjust anterior lateral. If the patient was strong with their finger on their lateral condyle, it's an indicator of a posterior lateral subluxation. So I would adjust anterior medial. Then recheck. Next, I'm going to extend the patient's wrist and have them resist. If it's weak, it's indicating a radial head subluxation, so I'm going to extend the arm slightly out and have them resist. If I find it to be strong, it's indicating a posterior lateral radius. So I'm going to contact the lateral aspect of the patient's radial head, and I'm going to adjust anterior medially. If it was weak, then it's indicating an anterior medial radius, and I would contact the medial aspect of the radial head and adjust posterior lateral. Then retest. Next, the shoulder. I'm going to extend the patient's arm at 90 degrees and test for weakness. If I find it to be weak, greater than 45 degrees, I'm going to adjust using the supine alternate tube. Then I'm going to recheck. And at this time, if I find it to be weak at less than 45 degrees, I'm going to have the patient sit up and adjust using the seated adjustment. Then I'm going to have the patient lay down and recheck. Next, the acromioclavicular joint. So I'm going to have the patient lay down in a supine position with their humerus flexed at 45 degrees and abducted at 45 degrees. I'm going to have them resist. And if I find it to be weak, I'm going to have the patient sit up. I'm going to sit next to them and adjust the acromioclavicular joint as to high. Next, for the sternoclavicular joint, I'm going to have the patient lay down in a supine position, raise their arm at 90 degrees, and have them resist. If I find it to be weak, I'm going to have them lay on their side, support their head, and adjust their SC joint. Then recheck. Last, I'm going to have the patient lay on their stomach for the posterior humerus muscle test. I'm going to place their hand behind their back and have them resist. And if I find it to be weak, I'm going to extend the shoulder out laterally and adjust P to A.